Hello everybody, welcome to episode 1 of Equals and Alternatives. I'm your host Mike Vacanti, and this is a first take and I literally have 10 minutes to shoot this first episode. So whatever happens, happens here. Now, before we get into the kind bar that we're going to be reviewing today, I want to talk about why I'm doing this show, okay? And I will link back to my blog where I wrote a post about this, and there's further explanation there. But in short, the biggest problem we have, fitness health related, stems from obesity, okay? And the number one way to fix that problem is through energy balance, calories in, calories out, and counting macronutrients. I know it's boring, and I know people complain about artificial sweeteners and vitamins and minerals and things like that, but at its core, energy balance and macro distribution is what matters most. Now, I've written posts about this. There are a lot of people who just don't want to digest a 5,000 word blog post. They just won't do it. And so the idea for this show stemmed from the concept of, okay, how can we reach those 70 or 80% of the population that just won't read a blog post, go download MyFitnessPal, and go through, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all learning the process if you're a beginner. I get that. And so for this, whatever, call it 70% of the population who, for whatever reason, can't figure it out, and I don't fault you at all for that, by the way, I wanted to make something easier, more digestible in a real, actionable, decision by decision kind of way, which is where the idea for equals and alternatives comes from. A kind bar, which is healthy, equals Kit Kat, 200 calories, 210 calories, okay? So yeah, let's get into it. Let's start. Alternatives, that section, I'm going to be offering up a solution or some sort of eat this instead, it's probably better. All right, so right off the bat, Kind is a brand that I and people associate with healthy foods, and they market themselves as such. However, these bars are basically candy bars. When you look at the nutrition facts, and this is something we're going to do in every episode, this is their fruit and nuts in yogurt flavor, which has 200 calories, 13 grams of fat, 19 carbs, and 5 grams of protein. If we look at the Kit Kat, we have 11 grams of fat, pretty close, 27 grams of carbs, so a bit more carbohydrates, and 3 grams of protein, neither great protein sources whatsoever, and 210 calories here in the Kit Kat. So from an energy balance point of view, from a satiety point of view, is one of these bars going to hold you over more than the other? Is one of these bars going to help you achieve your goal of weight loss, of losing fat, of maintaining or building muscle more than the other? No. But this is positioned in the marketplace as this gross piece of garbage, you should never touch, dirty food, and this is somehow elevated as a healthy decision. It was funny, when I was buying these at the grocery store just now, I literally saw a guy in front of me, and I snapped a picture, but you can't really see. He had 2 boxes of Kind bars and like 11 big boxes of those 100-calorie snack packs that I'm sure you know about, like Oreos and various processed foods made low fat and then packaged up in small quantities so we can stamp a 100-calorie label on it and sell it. So it was just funny. I wanted to grab the guy and be like, hey, instead of that, you should grab this protein bar right here or this over here. This alternative, which today, and as an aside, I don't love protein bars, but compared to something like this, we have Metrics Prime Bar, which is, it's kind of like Metrics' line of Quest Bar. in that it's a protein bar that derives most of its carbohydrates from fiber rather than a sugar or a sugar alcohol like protein bars traditionally have. So because it's in the same family as these, it makes a good alternative for today's show. And it's definitely better than both of these, but I still don't love protein bars compared to a shake or a whole food source like chicken or fish or pork or any kind of meat source or veggie source or anything like that. But we'll still get into this because it's not bad. 200 calories, so the same number of calories as a Kind bar, only 4 grams of fat rather than 13, I believe it was. 29 grams of carbs, 12 of which come from fiber. In the Kind, we're only getting 2.5 grams of fiber, so fiber helps with the digestive process. It helps keep you full longer. So even though we're eating 200 calories and 200 calories, you're less likely to get hungry again quicker on something like this. And 20 grams of protein, which serves that same satiety benefit. And also, like, we're not going to get into the zillion benefits of protein right now, but one we can highlight is that it's more difficult for the body to digest, so we burn more calories through what's called TEF, or the thermal effect of food, okay? Meaning that if you eat the same number of protein and the same number of carbs, you're actually net fewer calories with the protein just via the digestive process. That's getting a little sciencey. I don't know how sciencey we're gonna get on this show, but I just dove right in episode 1 here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I guess taste is important, right? I haven't really decided if this is something we're gonna do, like eating these on the show, but I mean, don't get me wrong, the Kind bar is delicious. Like, I don't know if you can see this, but there's yogurt, coating, almonds, like a honey glaze, granola. It tastes really good. It tastes like a candy bar. I'm gonna have to make it fit my macros for the day. I was not planning on this. Let's see, there are benefits here. The 13 grams of fat in the Kind bar come from mainly almonds, I would assume. The yogurt's gonna have some fat, the glaze is gonna have some fat, but almonds, which are a good source of fat, help with immunity and brain function and anti-inflammation. Is it so important? Excuse me. Is the good fat so important that it outweighs the benefits of consuming fewer calories, so not to gain body fat? No, but I am highlighting the upside because this fat is a better source of fat than the fat in the Kit Kat bar. We all know what a Kit Kat tastes like. I'm not gonna bust it out, but the Kit Kat's better than the Kind bar. And they're basically equal. Think about that next time you're in a grocery store. And here we have, I apologize for the verbal fillers too, by the way. I'm self-admittedly horrendous on camera, which is why all I ever do is write, but I'm gonna have to get good, otherwise you guys aren't gonna watch. Fuck this guy, it's boring as hell. Sea salt caramel tastes good. Now, I tried another flavor of Metrix Prime. It was like a chocolate or chocolate peanut butter or something in that family, and it wasn't good. It was traditional protein bar, chalky, gross kind of tasting, so I wouldn't go with that, but this caramel sea salt's a good option. All right, there we have it. Kind bar, healthy food #1 debunked by Equals and Alternatives. Thank you for watching. This could be something big, something that really reaches a lot of that population that I've failed to reach in the past. So, just really honored and grateful that you're even watching this episode. Okay? Thanks, guys. You know what? Question of the day. We should do something like that, right? What do you think of this show? what do you, like I described the concept here, what do you think? Like, are you like, oh, this is kind of cool, but it's not gonna help me because I already know this stuff? Or do you think that my theory is right? Do you think that we can reach a bigger population by simplifying these decisions and making fun and interesting infographics? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Post in the comments below, and I will obviously be in there hanging out. I read them all. So yeah, let me know. All right, thanks guys.